think the biggest changes in faith formation are the way faith formation adapts to people. So the people are changing. Our families are changing, the generations are changing. We're now a 10 decade society in 5 generations. So the changes for faith formation are, we need to be lifelong, we need to be decidedly family-centered in terms of the working with the families and all their diversity. And we really need to see the whole church community as formational. So intergenerational relationships be important. And then with the rise of especially the under 40 crowd who are leaving established churches, including the Catholic Church, we have to have some missional outreach to people, and we have to bring faith formation to them. So if faith formation can be adaptive, developing new approaches to reach people where they are, I think it's going to have to be more intergenerational, more family-centered, lifelong, all the decades of life, not just children and youth, but right through to the 90s, and more missional. Outreach to people where they are, and we now have the tools, the technologies to really engage people with all the new digital tools and technologies where they are. So I think faith formation needs to find ways to utilize and adopt the new digital media, the new digital tools to engage people, because one of the biggest differences from 40 or 50 years ago is we have a very small slice of people's life. We have maybe an hour or two a week, and only certain months of the year we get that hour or two. How do we expand our share of their time and attention? And I think we need new approaches to do that. I think the digital tools and technologies allow us to do that too. We've worked with lots of churches across all the Christian churches to say, what are some of the most effective ways and practices to engage families? And so one of them is to help families discover God in their daily life. People have put religion over here and daily life here. How do we bring them both back together again? So how do we bring God into daily life? I think the second one is really focusing on each of the stages of family life. How do we work with young families, with young children? How do we work with older families, with older children? How to work with families with adolescents? So really helping family faith at home. A lot of our effort has been family programs at church. We need to be just as concerted about family efforts at home. So how do we help them pray, share faith, grow together, serve others, build strong families at home? And so churches are going to need to be able to respond to families at home. I think we need to help them celebrate milestones, both at home and at church. I think we have to really work with parents in terms of parent formation and parent training. I think we need to help parents grow in faith. Grandparents, we need to equip them to share faith with their grandchildren. So I think those are tried and true. We need to be more intergenerational, involving families in the intergenerational life of the community. So those are some of the ways we can help kind of get at helping family faith formation come alive at home, at church, together. For me, that's where we need to grow. And once you put families at the center and you start building faith formation around them, all kinds of new strategies and approaches come up. I think every parish is unique because it's based on its culture, its generations, its people, its neighborhoods, etc. But I really think a vibrant parish is a parish that is very strong intergenerationally, whether it's worship or learning, service, mission. It's building intergenerational relationships. And 50 or 60 years ago, we took that for granted. Today, we have to build that kind of community. I think a vibrant parish is one that really sees itself as expanding its campus out to where people live. And going, to the point about we don't have a lot of time with people, we can expand our campus to engage people where they live, and in that missional outreach, invite them back into our community. So I think vibrant parishes are more intergenerational. I think vibrant parishes are very missional. I think vibrant parishes are lifelong. They really do faith formation across all the stages of life. And they're equipping. They send people out into the world. I often say at workshops, we often complain that all we have at Mass are old people. And we ought to turn that comment into what we have at Mass are grandparents. And what if you equip grandparents to be faith sharers with their grandchildren? you could transform things. So we have a lot of assets and strengths. So an equipping church is equipping parents, equipping grandparents to really go back home into their families and share faith.